Now, all of our materials are all going to have very similar specularity. We're just going to do them as a flat material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function called flat textured material. Okay, and that's actually going to return a material base. And into that I'm going to pass these are going to be loaded in as bitmaps. We're going to load in the bitmap data. We're going to load in the specularity. We're going to load in the ambient. We're going to need to know the ambient color. We're going to need to know the diffuse method. Just going to say that, give that as a wildcard, because we could be using different diffuse methods. And in a way 3D4, each of the diffuse methods have all got different superclasses, so we're just going to use the wildcard for that. And then pass in the lights. So then, let's go var material. Material equals new bitmap material. Oops, next map. And do BMD. So material dot specular equals spec underscore material dot ambient equals ambient material dot ambient color equals amp color underscore material, which we need now a diff dot diff method equals diff method, and then we just need the lights equals lights. Lights, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Lights. And then we're just going to return, and that's it. So now what we can do is we can go through and create a load of materials based on this particular function, which is a return element, rather than having to go through and create loads of individual materials. They're all going to have the same sort of values. It enables us to be able to change the specularity and the ambience and stuff, ambient colours and all that kind of stuff, so we can make them shinier and duller. So let's go in and do our material base equals flat texture material. Now the bitmap we're going to do. Now we need to load in our actual bitmaps here. So let's embed them. Let's go up here and just go give myself a bit more space, so that we're able to embed our objects. So let's just first of all just go embed. Just do that, embed metadata source equals, and we're going to go, now we're in this class in main, so we need to go back one, and then it's in the bin / meshes / now first of all we're going to do, let's do them in order that we can see them there. Let's go 6.diff.jpg, and we're going to call this leather diff, and I think that's the gloves. Okay, it's saying it can't find that. That's what diff, there we go. So I'm just going to go from, I'm just going to copy this. Just going to go through quite a few. And then we got our Cintel boots. I'm just going to do boots. We've got central eyeball. This is the eyes. And then we've got pants. Trousers in this country, in the UK anyway, which is where I'm from, so we call it pants. And then we've got central skin, so we're going to call that skin. And then we've got sweater. Central sweater. Heated. I'm going to call that vest. Okay, so we've got all of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of those embedded. They're all pretty small files, so it doesn't. I mean, the biggest one is a couple hundred kilobytes, so they're not absolutely huge. So we're going to do here. This is our boots. So we're going to do new boots. Okay, the specularity, we're going to set that, let's say 0.5. They're going to need to be a little bit shiny. Ambience, we're going to do 0.5 on all of our ambiences. And I think for our ambient colour, we're going to do it at some sort of grey colour. So we're going to do 0x 303040. 0. Our diffuse method is going to be new basic diffuse method. And then the lights, we've got an array called, I'm pretty sure we've got an array called lights. Oh no, sorry, we've only got one particular light. Yeah, that needs to be an array. Okay, and now we're going to do exactly the same thing for all of our. Okay, so we're going to do, we've got our boots, we've got our glove mat. Gloves. Again, we're going to keep that very similar. It's all leather, so we're going to keep that very similar. Then we've got our eyes. Do eyes. Then we've got our pants. Pants. And then we've got our skin mat. Just that one there. And then we've got our vest mat. Okay, so now all we need to do is pass these objects through into here. So we've got our body here. We'll do material, and that's going to be, this is our body, so we're going to do skin. Okay, so we just need to do the same thing over and over again here. So let's get this here. Just want to tidy this up since this is going to be now we need boots. Boot mat. We've got eyes. Eye mat. We've got gloves. We've got glove mat. We've got the trousers. That's pant mat. And then finally, we've got vest. Okay, so our meshes are added there, and now what we need to do is do our mesh manager. Got get meshes. Now for our meshes, we're going to pass in the array meshes, and our callback function is this function here. Okay, and fingers crossed everything should work. So I think we're pretty much ready to add to the stage. The only thing I know is that once this container gets added, it gets added too high, but we'll have a look and see how that all runs. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed this all runs okay. Okay, cannot convert main boots to flash display. Boots, let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, so the first boots that it's come to, boots, as I know why. I need to actually pass bitmap data here. I need to do the same thing to all of them in order to be able to pass through the bitmap data. So let's give it another go. Okay, we're getting another error come up. Swift cannot access. Okay, so I know what this is. So we need to go through to our settings. Let's go through to our global settings. And because we're running this locally, because of all the new settings, we need to let our Flash player know that we need to add a new location. So we're going to go browse for that particular Swift file. Is that there? I'm going to load that one there. Okay. Let's just close all of these. We don't need to spell that one and that one. And let's try again. Main loop. Okay, I think our loop's probably added too soon. Where are we? View.render container.ur. I know what we need to do here. Let's create a container equals new object container 3D. At least then it's available for it to manipulate. Okay, so we've got no polygons being added to the stage at the moment, so let's have a look and see what's going wrong. So first of all, let's just put a trace statement in here and see if we are getting this. We're going to need to close all of our browser windows in order for the debugger to work. So let's see. So no polygons. Unable to load .material file. Oh, I know what we need to do. So we need to go through now and just edit all of these. They're targeting a .mtl file. So we need to go through, delete all of these .mtl files that it's targeting. Text editor, cache, remove text editor, cache, open with text editor, cache. Okay, so let's try now. Okay, asset loader 360. Let's have a look and see what I'm getting traced here. End of file was encountered. Okay, so where are we? So let's have a look. So it's in trouble retrieving something. There we go. So look at this. Let's try again. Looking good. Okay, so we've got something added here. 19,864 polygons added. Let's try this. Move down. When I originally tried this, it was like 400. Let's just try. Okay, we've got 30,000 now, so this is about right. And again, I can't see it on the screen, so let's have a look and see what's going on here. I don't know why I missed that earlier, actually. And okay, I think okay, it's something I should have mentioned earlier. Actually, this is a little oddity that I've recently discovered when importing, especially the models from this Intel model into this particular application. If I go into the actual bin folder here, go to our meshes, let's have a look at our materials. Now you can see the textures, most of them are square except for this Intel skin diff, which is a rectangular material. And I've noticed that when the materials are being loaded into Away 3D, that they need to be square materials. So let's go and just open this with Photoshop. That's while we wait for Photoshop to load up. As we all know, it takes a little time sometimes. So, as you can see, this is Photoshop. And let's just image. We're just going to do an image size, and we're just going to keep it square. So it's 1024. Nice. Okay, so we've got a square image, and then just quickly to save. Okay, so now let's try that again and see if we have any joy. Okay, so there's our model. All right, so nice and simple. As you can see, at the moment, its position's not great, and the textures are all shiny. So we need to go through and just change some of those textures so that they are less shiny. So let's go through our textures. So the boots we're going to need to keep that shiny, and the gloves I think we're going to need to keep shiny. The eyes we're probably going to need to keep shiny. Now the pants we're going to put at 0.2. The skin again. The vest probably actually put this a bit lower. And let's just have a look at those textures and see if there are any. There we go. Much nicer textures as you can see. And so now we need to try and just sort the positioning out of this particular model. So let's just go in here and add nice simple class. Let's go here. First of all, let's show. If we go back to our downloads page where we've got our examples from the Away 3D examples section, let's go into the main source for the examples. There's a nice class here which they've used for these examples and for the purpose of these examples, which we're just going to oops. Still, just leave it over there. If I just want to go now, let's go there. Okay, so we're just going to say, and what this is basically, this is a hover drag controller. It pretty much says what it is. It's a camera which a camera control which they've implemented to be able to move the camera around particular objects within their examples, and we're just going to use it for this particular example as well. So let's just create our variable, new hover drag controller. We need to pass into it our view.camera and stage. Okay, let's just create that. So what should happen now is we should be able to manipulate the positioning of this particular object a lot better, as you can see. Now what we're just going to quickly do, because we've made that available in the in our Mesh Manager class, is we're just going to quickly create a text, just a text field to update and to let our user know what's actually happening, because sometimes these models can the materials can take quite a while to load in. Some of the actual JPEGs that could be big, so you just want to let the user know, or even the OBJ files could actually be big. You just want to let the user know exactly what's going on. So that's how we've implemented it in the Mesh Manager. So we're just going to do here new text field, and I'm just going to create import that class. I've done here. So that's the text field equals view. Okay, and then just going to create that variable. We're just going to say status dot width equals 125. Status dot x equals stage dot stage width minus status dot width. Their y position is going to be 0 anyway. Let's just do a format. Format equals new text format. I'm just going to have Arial as our font. We're going to have a size 10. We're going to have a colour of white, just so it's. We're just going to create a local variable for that. And then we're just going to say status dot default text format equals format. And it'll be stage dot add child status. Okay, status nothing that's anything we need there. And let's just start it off with some default text. Text equals application initiated. Okay, and what we're going to do here is where we've got our add mesh in our mesh manager, we're just going to pass that status into that into the Mesh Manager. I'm just going to create that here. We're going to have this as our update text. So the text field. I'm just going to update text, and then we're just going to create a variable for that. And what we're going to do is for each time a mesh is loading, we're just going to say update text.text equals loading, and it's going to be index.string plus of, and it's the meshes dot length dot string. Safe. Okay, and then what we want to do is that once everything's actually loaded, we're just going to say update text.text equals all models loaded. Okay, this one. That's alright, it's updated. Okay, so you can see we've got our text over there telling us exactly what's going on. And of course, if this was being loading from a web server, that would be updated on a regular basis. As each model gets loaded, you have model 1, model 2, model 3, model 4, and as it says here, because it's being loaded locally, it's loaded pretty much straight away. So that's it. That's our really nice 3D model loaded into Flash via Wave3D. Really nice textures on the model, and it's although there's quite a bit of work to involve, it's actually not that simple if you've used any of the Wave3D packages in previous versions of Flash. So if you've used previous versions, then you're going to have a head start in jumping into Molehill and getting some really nice 3D models implemented into your Flash applications for the future release of Flash Player.